Hey everyone, welcome back to X3 Albion Prelude. We're going to be saying goodbye to a few special friends of ours. All of our Zephyruses are going to be retired to patrol duty in this sector. The reason for that is that we have a new ship that can house all of our fighters, our very own large transport ship, the Yaqui Ryu.
As the Yaqui seek to expand their sphere of influence, so must their infrastructure increase. The Ryu is a key part of enabling Yaqui station building and heavy transport activities.
The Ryu can go 120 meters a second, making it the second fastest large transport ship. It is the weakest shielded though at 800 megajoules of shielding. It can carry at most 36,000 cargo, making it actually the lowest in class as well in cargo space. It has 4 front guns, 2 guns on the side, 2 guns on the right, and 2 guns in the back. And when I said 2 guns on the side, I meant 2 guns on the left. So it's not particularly great. It can't fight. It can't haul as much stuff as usual, but it can hold 12 ships, the second highest in class, and that is what we want to use it for. Now behind it are a couple of Mistrals, and that's because we are going to be building a station in this sector. I'm just going to set up the Zephyrs to patrol. So if any hostiles fly into the sector, he will try to intercept them. Now, with station building, you can buy stations at shipyards. And we'll see here, they are on the top part of the list. They will have ST as their cargo size. That means their station sized cargo. And you need to have a TL to haul everything. If you cannot buy your own TL though, you can hire an NPC controlled TL. There's usually one in every sector that has a shipyard in it, and they charge you like a couple thousand credits for each warp gate they fly through to transport your stuff. So to drop the station, we need to go to the special command and click on drop station. Click on where we want to drop it. It'll be the ore mine, so we're going to click on the asteroid with the most amount of ore inside of it. For non-mining stations, you just select where in space. I'll get into that later, but it can be kind of confusing.
Ore mine.
But ore mines are the most basic of stations. They are very simple. Energy cells go in, ore comes out. And this area is very good for ore mines because there are a lot of ore using stations nearby.
Ore mines are mainly built around small asteroids because of the higher productivity that the low gravity of asteroids allow. Asteroids are first analyzed with special scanners for their richness in minerals.
So in the various stats here on the station info, we got the cycle time. That is how long between each, how long it takes for each resource to be made. We have number of products, which is how many that it makes. So it makes 20 ore in a minute and 40 seconds. And then there are the resources needed. As we'll see here on energy cells is the resource that's needed. And you see the brackets on the bottom there, it says 120. That is how many energy cells it takes to build some ore. And as an aside, player-owned stations do not have to deal with secondary resources. So here in the station parameters, I'm sorry if you can hear a bit of like kind of clicking. I'll try to dull it down as much as possible. It's whenever I rapidly switch between things that it makes that popping noise. Anyways, we can put credits into the station. This is what the station uses to buy resources. We can set how much we will buy a resource, so I'm going to set it pretty low. We could set how much to sell our resources, so I'm going to set it to almost as high as possible because the station is often, this area is often dry of ore, so I'm just going to gouge them for all I can get. We could have also selected, right now I'm counting how many sectors. You can select how many jumps a station's traders will use. I'm just trying to hit in the Aladna Hill and Legends Home area. So I'm going to set it to just 2. So it's just so my traders are only buying and selling in between those 2 sectors. Within 2 sectors, I should say. In the advanced command, we get access to a few more commands. The only one really notable is the auto transfer funds. So we put in an amount of cash, and whenever the station goes over that amount, it transfers the funds into our own account. As we see here, I've set it to 50,000, so all the extra that I deposited was deposited straight into my account. Now I'm going to be setting our 2 Mistrals, setting the home base to our new station, and you need to install the Mark II trading command software into them for them to buy and sell wares for best price. And that's what I'll do. And then the other one, I'm setting it to sell ore for the best price. And basically, they will only buy or sell either your minimum or maximum of the resource that you set. But if there's a cheaper option or for buying or a more expensive option for selling, they will take those options instead. And then I'm removing them from the property menu. Now here's another thing. I'm setting up another station here. It's going to be a complex. We have a silicon mine here and a crystal fab. A solar power plant. Now normally we would have to put ourselves close together. This could be an issue with mines where asteroids are about. But as we see here, I have a tractor beam that I can use to move the asteroid closer to our power station. So we're going to go ahead and drop the stations here. We're going to drop the complex construction kit, which combines multiple stations together. So we're going to combine our solar plant with our silicon mine. And if you see here, you can probably barely see it behind the screen, but that is the station. This is how stations are built. Unfortunately, you're not put into like some kind of third-person camera where you can see stuff. No, you have to kind of do it like this. You just barely see the station where exactly you're placing it. It's really difficult. I'm here fussing about. I don't know if the ports are pointed towards the warp gate or if they're pointed inwards towards our stations, which will cause a problem because any ships that try to dock or undock might hit the asteroid or hit the solar power plant instead of shooting out towards the jump gate. There is a mod that makes this easier, just makes like a cube of all the stations, but I don't know, it's kind of like, oh, you gotta pay more and you gotta wait, and I'm just kind of too impatient for that. So when you combine 2 stations, it just builds a tunnel network between the two. There's our power plant right underneath our mine.
Successfully docked.
Welcome back.
Now at this point, I built enough of the station so it's totally self-sufficient. The crystals feed into the energy plant that produces the energy cells. And as an aside, NPC power plants don't need crystals like we do. And then we got the nose drop oil, and sunrise flowers goes into is used to make nose drop oil. The oil is used to feed the crystal fab, and the silicon ore is used to also make the crystals in the crystal fab. Let's take a look at this little monstrosity that I made. And we'll notice here, slightly to our right, I'm sure I will, look at it. Some of the stations are kind of clipping into one another. That is a very possible thing. I don't know why they didn't build something where it'll just make it red and say you can't build this here because it will clip. But it's very possible to have stations clip and they will constantly take damage until one of them blows up. For whatever reason though, if you combine them with a complex kit, they stop taking damage. And here we are, the fruits of our labor. It is a space weed station. 4 Bliss Palaces pumping out space weed for us. It has dream farms that it's used to make the space weed. And now let's take a look at it. It would be kind of neat to try and do some wing fighting through these stations, but I don't think the AI can handle it. They'll either fly off when they get too close, to avoid the collision, or they'll just slam into the station. So yeah, now we have our own weed farm planted in Talati sector, so it's perfectly legal. It won't be shot down. Nearby there is a pirate station, and they will of course buy space weed. All these Talati stations have their trading stations will buy space weed. Unfortunately, there's a xenon sector nearby, so this does provide kind of a risk. But luckily our trader here has a jump drive, so he should be jumping past the xenon sector and then jumping straight back when he goes and sells the weed. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed, and I will be seeing you all next time.